Sometimes I wonder how people operate at an efficient level, only to realize most people are just piecing life together one day at a time. In fairness, we all are in some way, shape, or form, figuring life out as our chapters change throughout life. But some individuals appear to operate at a higher level, and some come out ahead time and time again, while others might feel like they're living on the set of the 1993 movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray. I have learned that highly efficient individuals operate by a particular set of rules. Welcome to The Practical Edge. We're here to strip down the old and rebuild a better you, helping you redesign your life with clarity, courage, and practical strategies. If you're ready to stop settling and start evolving, you're in the right place. I'll be your host, Bill in England. Now, let's get on to the show. This thought process recently crossed my mind because not only do I work with about 60 to 70 people each week and having frequent conversations, but I also take moments to reflect on the past experiences throughout life. For example, I remember when I was probably around 16 years old and I was applying to a job at Pizza Hut. One of the questions on the application asked if you were to steal money, how much do you think would be appropriate? It ranged from something along the lines of like none to a little to a lot. I don't remember the exact question, but I thought it was a silly question to ask. First off, no one's going to get hired if they would upfront admit that they're willing to steal from a company. At least no logical employer would be willing to hire somebody admittedly stealing from a company before they even get hired. In addition to this, any money or objects that I could steal, it's likely the value is nowhere near how much one would get just by working over the next few months or years. Keeping a job that'll pay us more than just petty cash or the value of a single object that someone might deem worthy of stealing. Outside of theft, I also recall working seemingly very hard and willing to do whatever someone asked of me. The problem wasn't my willingness to see tasks through completion, but how I executed those tasks with a low standard. At 17 years old, I never truly learned how to understand working more efficiently or working smarter opposed to just working harder, while skipping the attention to detail because I did not understand the importance of detail. The result? Exhausted, frustrated, and I did not break through any glass ceilings that existed. Since that time, I have learned that I needed to do more and be more, getting out of my comfort zone and executing the things that were less desirable in the moment to improve how I responded to future challenges. I also realized that it was thinking more strategically that tends to separate those who succeed more than those who do not. However, in order to become more strategic and break out of the Groundhog's Day of wake up, work hard, go to sleep, repeat without progress, something had to change, and that change was me. It wasn't until I began to work on myself that I started to break through plateaus, glass ceilings, and beyond my original vision of what I thought was possible in my own life. I've designed guidelines and barriers that I've encouraged myself to live by and remind myself often in order to live a life more efficient, more fulfilling, and more supportive of those around me seeking growth along their own journey. These guidelines are what I'd call my rules in life. And I have 13 of them that I'm willing to share with you today. This does not mean that these 13 rules are perfectly executed each and every day, but they work as guardrails in life to help me keep direction in living the life I want for myself, for my family, and for those around me. Ever since my daughter was born, it wasn't, I cannot do this because I have a kid now. I shifted my mindset to, I have to do this because I have a kid now. I have someone who wholesomely now relies on me, who will eventually learn from my habits, my behaviors, my actions, and my emotions. If it's inevitably going to happen, I'm going to be intentional for who I am for her. She relies on me to show up and be present, to be healthy and around for her, to be able to barrel roll, carry her, squat, and bend, and get into the playhouse so she can serve me some imaginary coffee. These rules for life are giving me affirmations and giving me direction to live the life I want to live, because if we're not intentional about it, it's not going to happen. It's that simple. So here we go. The first on my list, be the champion of your own story. No one's going to save us. Think of days like pages and chapters through decades or phases of life. As we flip through each page and enter different chapters of life, how exciting do you want your story to be? Are we the hero in that story? We can sit and wait for our hero, but when we do that, we're neglecting to hear our own call of action. Thus, living in the Groundhog's Day as our body and mind begins to waste away due to natural degenerative changes. Don't wait for others to come save you when it is your responsibility to take action and take ownership and become the champion, become the hero in your own story. Number 2, be present to enjoy the moments of life. The more present we are, the more we hear what people are telling us, the more we're hearing what people may not be telling us. But the time blocks on my schedule ensure I become better at blocking out the distractions and somewhat important things for the most important things. Beyond my own interactions with clients, coworkers, or friends, I know that as every day passes, my family grows one day older, as do I, changing one day at a time, and we never get that time back. Being present is a way of being intentional, which then allows us to be grateful and enjoy the moments that we have for each other. Number 3, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. But it's only if we use it. These days, information is everywhere. It's not about how much you know, it's more about what you do with it. Learning opens your mind, action transforms your life, and I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to spend thousands of dollars in my own educational growth through memberships, personal development coaches, and programs, as well as books that I've read. I've learned to only question investing in myself or my own education if I had not completed the previous educational journey that I set myself upon, finishing a particular book or completing a particular program. Only because we can consume material for entertainment purposes or collect access to material, but until we consume it and apply the information, it's practically worthless to us. So when we're ready to commit to change, we phase into the next rule. Number 4, make up your mind, commit to change you want. Too often, we have thoughts and ideas, but rarely commit to the change we want. Have you read a book, Who Moved My Cheese? It's a story about 2 characters who get cheese provided for them each day. Then one day, the cheese stops showing up. One insists to wait for the cheese to come back, while the other ventures out into the maze to find more cheese. You can probably guess which character got more cheese in this story. It's not the one that's sitting and waiting, but the one that made the decision to commit to necessary change. As things change around us, we need to pivot accordingly in order to not just survive, but thrive. Which leads me into the next rule. Rule number 5. Always prioritize health and fitness. I remember a friend years ago when I first got into personal training. He encouraged me to not skip or miss my own workouts so that I can serve more people. In other words, not to let my own health fade when I'm trying to help other people. This is a challenging task not to fall short of, purely based on the fact that the healthier I am, the more present I am for myself, the better I can be for other people. And this isn't just me. This is things that we can all apply in our life to become better, become more clear, and become more efficient through life. When we prioritize our health, just like we would a W-2 job, when we do not show up for work, we likely don't get paid. Our health is the one job that we cannot just quit or should not just quit. And we can't just go out and buy health. Functional ability, strength, endurance, and overall health is earned through action each and every day. No matter how much money we have, we can never buy back our health. And as of right now, there's no magic pill that cures the cause for our health complications. Despite what somebody might be trying to sell you, there is no cure or replacement for healthy habits. It is also a lot easier to attain and maintain health than it is to recover from a chronic disease. The top leading causes of premature death is preventable with healthy lifestyle changes for most of us. It's our prerogative to live a healthier life, a longer life, to spend more birthdays, holidays, and revolutions around the sun with family and friends. But it requires us to be a little more intentional to make it a part of our routine. Number 6, being brave isn't never feeling afraid, but conquering that fear. Fear is one of the leading causes of failure. Failure to act, failure to commit. Sometimes we need to do things that we don't want to do in order to enjoy the life we want to live. Have you ever seen the Batman series? In The Dark Knight Rises, he gets injured, then he feeds into those limitations as Bruce Wayne disappears into hiding. He becomes fearful and allows fear to fuel his beliefs, but uses his injury as justification not to take necessary action, at least for a temporary period of time. But when he chooses to act, to face his fears and come back, he became unstoppable. He didn't stop caring, and we all have those moments where we face fear. The question is, will we let it control us for the rest of our life, or take complete control over our decisions in life? I understand it's a movie, but in a lot of movies, there are relatable takeaways that we can see or that we often miss. And that's by design. That's how directors make a captivating scene or movie, making it in some way emotionally relatable, even if we don't realize it. Now let's get into the standard we set for ourselves with number 7. The standard you walk past is the standard you accept. It's a quote I repeat to myself anytime I'm tempted to ignore something that feels off, whether it's letting a task slide, giving up early, or staying silent when I know I should speak up. I'm not perfect, but I'm consistently raising my own bar because every detail matters. The way I show up in the little moments creates alignment with the person I'm becoming and the life I choose to build. What standard are you accepting for yourself and the environment you accept around you? Number 8, take ownership of everything in your life. This is a concept from Jocko Willink's book, Extreme Ownership. When I affirm that everything in my life happens because of me, and looking at things from the perspective that I have some form of control over the situation, it forces me to face the truth that I have responsibility of my life and everything in my life. We are not powerless, and we are not victims of our life. We always have the option to choose where we live, how we spend our time, and it's not going to be ideal or convenient. Not everything in life should be. There's a chance we did not know what would happen, and things won't always work out in our favor. But victimizing ourselves and choosing to blame others for a current situation is on us. It's okay to fall, but it's not okay to not get back up. Number 9, individuals are more important than tangible objects. When someone scratches or dents your car, it's frustrating because we worked hard for that. But if there's a chance somebody's injured due to that car dent, the bigger picture is a car can be and will be eventually be replaced. A person's life or their health at some point can't be replaced as simple. Let me put it this way. We can always find ways to make more money, to buy more things, and fall into the trap of the hedonic treadmill for procurement of stuff. But the people around us, the relationships we have with others, are not always simply replaceable. Number 10, wake up determined, go to bed satisfied. This is my competitive side lashing out. I set an alarm, but at this point, years later, I often wake up on my own. When I see that it's somewhere between 3 to 4 a.m., one of the first things that crosses my mind is getting up to start executing my goal for reasons I share here on this podcast, for reasons I share on my blog, and for reasons I share on consistent posts through social media. When we get up and take action executing on the most important next steps for our day, it's inevitable that we go to bed satisfied at the end of the day. If we worked hard enough to physically and mentally exhaust ourselves, that pillow feels so much more comfortable at the end of the day. Number 11, build a legacy through helping others. This is a part of my mission and purpose. I enjoy and have always wanted to be a person to help others. In my eulogy, after my passing, I hope to have lived a life serving other people. We will never hear it. But what are some of the things you want to be known for? What would it sound like if you were able to write your own eulogy? That's the legacy we are living behind us as we move forward each and every day. Next, number 12, family time is non-negotiable. With never-ending obligations and work between physical therapy, personal training, virtual coaching, this podcast, my blog, social media content creation, my own workouts, my own personal growth through reading, family time has to be on here as a part of my guiding principles and core values, as to not lose focus on the most important individuals that tolerate me and rely on me each and every day. I've never missed or regretted the time spent with family and watching my daughter grow older each and every day. And last but not least, number 13, live with gratitude and seek gratitude daily. Giving gratitude to others, making a point to text a friend or a coworker, verbally telling someone that I appreciate them and giving them specifics on why I appreciate them. Giving gratitude encourages my brain, my reticular activating system, to seek reasons to be grateful throughout the day. In turn, I will say I'm happier for it. Despite how my schedule is 100% booked each and every day, I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have, and I am better for it. Start today. Write down what you're grateful for from yesterday and today. Tell those around you who you're grateful for and why. I promise it will begin to reshape your mind and frame of thinking. So there you have it, my 13 rules for life. These rules of life, my mission, my purpose, my core values, all are designed to complement each other and better allow me to make decisions in difficult situations. If you want to learn to get started on designing your own mission, vision, purpose, or writing your core values, let me know. This is why I designed my coaching program, Revamp. It helps serve those looking to accelerate their personal development and live a clear, more fulfilling, and rewarding life. Let me know what you wrote down for yourself. You can change them at any point in time and adapt according to life. Honestly, when I wrote these down, I didn't have a story for each one. They just related to what I wanted or found to be ideal as directional forces for me to begin living my life in the things that I found to be desirable. And always remember, your next level doesn't come from wishing. It comes from daily consistent action. Lean into discomfort and stay relentless. Average is optional. Growth is a choice, and the practical edge is where you sharpen that choice. Until next time, stay focused, stay driven, and keep leveling up. Have a great day.